Why do the Avengers all have such deep misunderstandings about Tony? From the very beginning in the Avengers, Tony was never truly trusted by his teammates. Captain America once questioned him,
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off, what are you?
Those words were like a knife, stabbing straight at Tony's most vulnerable self-esteem. In the captain's eyes, Tony was a rich kid who relied on tech to arm himself, who understood neither sacrifice nor responsibility. Yet when a truly massive crisis arrived, it was Tony the captain urgently called for support over the comms. It was this so-called selfish man who carried a nuclear missile through a wormhole, facing death with nothing but a mortal body. In that battle, he saved the world, but it also planted a seed of psychological trauma that would last 6 years. But no one knew. No one asked if he had nightmares. No one cared if he was afraid. They just kept fighting, kept relying on him, but never tried to understand him. In Avengers: Age of Ultron, Tony tried to use the Iron Legion to prevent future disasters, but was accused by his teammates of warmongering. Dr. Banner also stood against him, and the captain still clung to his idealistic belief in faith and unity.
How are you guys planning on beating them? Together. We'll lose, and we'll do that together too.
When Ultron truly spiraled out of control and the situation deteriorated, Thor returned to the base in a rage, grabbed Tony by the throat. In that moment, Tony didn't resist or explain. He just silently endured the anger and blame from his comrade. This scene was heartbreaking, not because Tony was innocent, but because he was already accustomed to being misunderstood. Yet when the city was lifted into the sky by Ultron's control, it was Tony who turned the tide. He went deep beneath the city and worked with Thor to avert the catastrophic disaster. But it seemed none of this could still earn his teammates' understanding. In Captain America: Civil War, Tony chose to sign the Sokovia Accords. He wasn't trying to control anyone. He wanted to give the team a legal status, to give the world an answer. But once again, he became the target of criticism. The most painful blow came from Steve. When Tony discovered the truth about his parents' murder, and, emotionally shattered, sought justice, he was stopped by the captain, whom he considered a brother. In that moment, Tony wasn't defeated by an enemy, but betrayed by someone he trusted. His pain wasn't just about his parents' deaths, but about being misunderstood, isolated, and abandoned yet again. In Avengers: Infinity War, facing Thanos, Tony still charged ahead. His armor shattered, nanotech depleted, his body battered and bruised, yet he never retreated. Tony proved with his actions. He wasn't the chosen one, but he was always the one willing to shoulder the burden. By Avengers: Endgame, Tony finally stopped being silent. He slammed the arc reactor onto the table before the captain. In that moment, he wasn't venting anger, but saying goodbye. Goodbye to that past where he was never understood. But even so, when the final choice came, he still chose sacrifice. For that 1 in a million chance, he snapped his fingers, completing his final redemption with his life. It was only at that moment the world finally understood. Tony Stark was never the perfect soldier from a hero template. He had fears, traumas, selfishness, and pride, but he always protected this world in his own way.